Hey, Life Fixers, hope you're having an awesome day. Are you ready to rewire your brain for defining the problem? I know that sounds weird, but you're going to find inside this episode why we want to find the problem. Yeah, it's not so crazy. Actually makes sense. Before we get into it, I have a question. Did you get the mindset for productivity assessment? If not, you'll want to head over right now to lifefixuniversity.com/mindset to take the assessment free to see whether your mindset is helping you or stopping you from being productive. Okay. Now let's get into it. Why do you want to define the problem? Have you ever tried to fix something, tried to help someone, tried to do something at work, maybe with your kids, maybe with your spouse in your marriage, and for some reason it just didn't work out? Could be the solution was wrong, but it could be you did it, and after you did it, you realized it was actually the wrong thing you were trying to fix. Like the whole time you're trying to screw, put in the screw, and it just was the wrong type of screw. It was too short. You needed a longer one. Or you were sending this person tons of gifts, but this person doesn't like gifts, the wrong type of thing. They needed to sit down and talk to them, right? So many times we try to fix something without actually understanding what the problem is first. And we're wasting so much time and energy on something that just, what's the point? You don't have to do that. So we want to make sure that our cognitive function of defining the problem is super sharp and able to help us in any situation. Now, here's a challenging question. Yeah, I don't know who will guess it. If you've been listening to your Brain Rewired episodes for a while now, you will be able to figure it out. Let's see if you could. Do you think defining the problem comes in the input phase, elaboration phase, or the output phase? The input phase is how we're taking in the information. The elaboration phase is how we're processing it. And the output phase is how we're telling the world what we know. So do you think defining the problem comes in the input, where we're finding information, elaboration where we're thinking about it, or output phase where we're telling everyone we're taking action, we're doing something? Well, let's do process elimination. It's not the output phase because we're not doing something about it. We're defining the problem here. We already have all the information because we're trying to figure out what's going on here. So we have that this person's behaving this way, or this machine's not working, or this relationship needs to be fixed, or whatever our problem is. So we already have the information. And then defining, we have to figure out exactly why, exactly what is going on here. So how can you define the problem? Okay, if you want to define a problem, you have to make sure you are super, super clear about this thing. Okay, so if before you work on a task, especially something that's going to take a lot of energy from you, it's another strategy and cognitive function. But I want you to stop and think and ask yourself, is this the real problem? Take a step back. What do I see? Right? Go back to the input phase to make sure you have all the information, and then come back to the elaboration phase. What is really the problem here? You're going to want to stop and think, what is the real problem? Okay. If I do this action, will my problem be solved? Okay. So take for an example, let's say your son, whenever he comes home inside the house, he always dumps his shoes right in front of the house, right when he walks in, blocking the doorway, and it's just super annoying to every single time. Makes the house messy. Someone's going to trip. This is annoying for you. You don't want it. So you think, oh my goodness, get this out of here. And you yell at him or tell him nicely, maybe even to put his shoes on the side, put his shoes away in his room. And every day you're going through the whole thing over and over again. And you're wasting so much time and so much energy on it. And you're not enjoying it. He's not enjoying it. And it's not doing anything beautiful for your relationship. So you're stopping and thinking, is telling him to put his shoes away every single day the right thing to do? Is that benefiting him? Is that benefiting you? Is that solving your problem? Very clearly, the answer is no. So you want to stop and think, what is the real problem here? What is going on? The problem is he's coming in and he doesn't have patience or the ability. He's hungry, he's starving, he came in from a long day of school, and he can't really go right now and take the time to go and put the shoes in his room. You could decide that this is an important thing for you to go and train him right away to put it in his room and find some sort of way to do that. Or you could say, okay, I'm going to get a shoe rack to put right in front by the door. And instead of just having them fly all over the place, he could put them on the shoe rack. And that is easier for him to do than to go upstairs and go and put that in his room. Then Will that solve the real problem? We'll have to buy the shoe rack, and I have to make sure he knows about it and help him figure out a way that works for him to go and put the shoes on the shoe rack so that way you're happy and he's happy. And then does it solve your problem? Yes. So your action step for today is, before you do one thing, start slow. Do just one thing today. Before you do one thing, ask yourself, is this actually going to solve my problem? If not, what is my real problem here that I'm trying to solve? Get super clear is what is the problem? What is the challenge? What is going on here? Okay, practice one thing today, one thing tomorrow, one thing the next day, and you'll be building it up. You'll be rewiring your brain for defining the problem and saving so much time, energy, and money. Have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.
That's all for this episode of the Life Picks University podcast, but I have a huge favor to ask of you that will not only support the show, but will also help the people you love most. We are striving for 1 million downloads by the end of 2025, and we can't do this without your help. If you love this episode, please share it with 2 of your family and friends so they too can rewire their brains to have an extraordinary marriage. It was awesome spending time with you, and I'll see you on the next episode.